Hi guys, it's Rosie here at Let's Love to Learn Together. So today we're going to cover the second paper of the series, which is called Did Driver Crash While Checking Smartwatch? Okay, so did driver crash while checking smartwatch? This is at 90 words per minute. It is a continuous dictation of 4 minutes in total. What I want to do prior to this is to go over key special outlines and grippings that are going to come up in the paper. If you want to challenge and want cold dictation, then head over to SoundCloud and press the audio link for the passage titled Did Driver Crash While Checking Smartwatch? If you want to be slightly prepped, then stick with me. We'll go through all the words in groups that are going to come up, take into consideration word grippings and special outlines. Then I will dictate the passage, 4 minutes 90. After, I'll go through the whole passage on the board so you can see all the outlines and compare my notes to your notes. Okay, so first of all, let's check word grippings and special outlines. So we have ladies and gentlemen of the jury. So we're going to be having Al-G. When my pen kicks in, one moment. Al-G-J-I. Okay, a wonderful gripping. Then we have the word cancel, which should be a C-N blend. We have father, F-R blend H of the. You could even check the board after and give yourself a quiz and check back after. It's completely up to you. Then we have prosecution, which is a special, P-S-C and then tion. We have the phrase in this case. The H of this is angled in the way of the I indicator, and we add case on the end. Then we have the phrase to tell you, followed by the word which is WC on the T line. Has had, we angle the H in the way of the A indicator, and we can add had underneath, has had. On the is an ON blend, TH. We have several, which is just sev. And we have people. Now several people comes up together, so we're going to have several, put the PL blend through, several people. Next we have has been, we can drop the B lower or bring it round. Make sure you angle the H in the way of the A indicator. As A is ASA, small word groupings such as that really make the speed. For A, FR blend A indicator. Again, tiny amendments such as adding A at the end there helps tremendously. We have local, which should just be an L. We have company, which is CO special outline, the CO indicator. Less than is LS, H and N, less than. That took me a while to learn back when I was learning shorthand. It's quite fiddly. Remember, these outlines won't come instantly unless you give them a good drill. Okay. By drilling, what I mean is writing it again and again and again and again at speed. It's always handy to have something called a drill book where you write down any outline that you learn that you know you need to practice. And then with practice, the outline will glide from the pen with ease. Okay, so after less than, we then have morning. So MR and ing. Then we have the word after. She was, which is longhand S, WS. We then have mobile phone. Now my shortcut for this is just MF. Otherwise you can do M, B upwards L, F and N. I'll also remind you that telephone is TLF. So we've got mobile phone, telephone, and this that I've starred is a full version of mobile phone. In this passage there we get mobile phone. I just wanted to remind you of telephone while we're here. Then we have in there, so INH is there. Make sure that in and look different. So in will be a really small outline, baby, and in will be much taller. Okay. Then we have as a result, which is AS, RS, upwards LT. You can knock off the T and just do as a result, but you can appreciate, I'm sure, that takes a lot of practice to outline. Once you do get used to it though, it will glide onto the page. We have as there, which is ASH of there. We then have without, which is WOT, special outline. We have the phrase that she. Should have. Longhand S for sh, D, and then V, should have. We have such, SC on the T line, no H. Just a reminder that each, such, much, and which, like a little family of outlines, they're all on the T line with no H. So we have each, such, much, which. They've all lost the legs, they've all lost that H there. It's a little family of outlines. Okay, next we have the phrase by the. So B, I blends into the H of there. Next, we have also, which is S and O on the T line. You may see that written in full as well, ALSO, which isn't incorrect, but there is alternative options. Okay, so we've got also. Next, we have got tell you that. So tell you, H of that, and then cross through. Did not is DD and T, keeping that down low. We have V underlined for evidence, and it's also evidence as well. In this passage, we have evidence. At there is A indicated on the T line for at, H of there. Then we have question, which should be just a Q, special outline. We have witness, which is WTS. I wonder if you can guess what's happening in this paper today. Probably not too many hints yet. We've got a witness, we've got evidence, we've got a mobile phone, what could be going on? So witness comes next. We have became, which is a CM blend under your writing line. Become, became, the same outline. We have had been, so HD, they just flip the B over. I can is ICN blend, so you're writing backwards there, takes quite some drilling, that one. Number of is NO for number, and then the O for of. We have witnesses, which is WT, disjoint SV, S, vowel SV, witnesses. We have from there, upwards FH there. We have defendant, which is D, downwards F and T. That's my special outline for defendant. Otherwise, you do D, F, N, D, and D. And last of all, but not least, we have members of the jury. Can I just clear my screen just to write that one? So when I face member, you can always go back. Members of the jury is NM, S, J, I. So I've given you a handful of outlines to drill if you aren't familiar with them. Either way, even if you are familiar, then give them a drill over. Okay. So what we will do is we will do a 4-minute passage at 90 words a minute. So quite a bit to get on with here. And then you can either transcribe and then watch the lesson after and jump into where I explain the outlines, or you can read the notes with me as you go over the paper. So whichever way you want to use this, either way, whichever you choose to do, it's all productive stuff. So as long as you're revising, engaging, motivated, then you are on the right track to being successful. Okay, so title of this is Did Driver Crash While Checking Smartwatch? So you've got did, driver, crash. If that's too fiddly, you can maintain the R. While is WH upwards L. Checking. Now a smartwatch in full would be SMRT WCH. That's going to take some time at speed, isn't it? So what you might want to do for this is just do S and W, make your own shortcut for smartwatch. You could make something different, whatever you think is easy for you. So smartwatch comes up in this, and as explained, it's quite a long outline to put together. Okay, so did driver crash while checking smartwatch? So I'm going to read out the title a few times over, and we've got a whole 4 minutes at 90 words a minute. So a real test of stamina, endurance, and just carrying on going. Okay. So imagine that you were at a court case, you've got to get your story out by the end of the day. You need to get down every word of this trial. Okay. So here's the title first of all. Did driver crash while checking smartwatch? Did driver crash while checking smartwatch? Let's go a few more times. Did driver crash while checking smartwatch? Did driver crash while checking smartwatch? Okay, so best of luck. Hopefully by now you've drilled those word groupings. Okay, you'll notice me looking this way because my other screen is there with the dictation written. Okay, so good luck, guys. Pens ready. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I am Rosie Woodward, counsel for the prosecution in this case. I am going to tell you about an incident which has had a huge impact on the lives of several people. The woman before you, Jill James, has been working as a taxi driver for a local cab company for just less than a year. This awful event occurred on Monday morning, just after 9 a.m, when Mrs. James was on the way to her second job of the day. Her mobile phone was in the glove box, and she was wearing a smartwatch, which notifies her of calls, text messages, and other updates. Her phone rang, which, as a result, prompted the smartwatch to ring and flash. A few seconds later, a group of 5 teenagers ran across the road, just as the lights turned to amber. It goes without saying that she should have remained stationary until the lights turned green. As a result of such carelessness, a girl was hit by the car and sustained serious injuries. The car also clipped the leg of another girl. Police officers will give evidence to show that the lights were indeed still on amber when she hit the gas pedal. The accused will tell you that she did not check her watch, but evidence shows that a call was answered via the smartwatch at the time in question. A witness will also tell you how he saw Mrs. James tapping her wrist and rummaging on the passenger seat as if to look for something. Mrs. James will claim that she never uses her phone or smartwatch while driving, and that her vision became distorted. She will tell you that she has not had vision issues before, but that she had been suffering with headaches for weeks. I can confirm Mrs. James has no history of eye problems and had not consulted her doctor. This offence has left 2 young girls injured. Very soon, you will hear from a number of witnesses and from the defendant herself. Members of the jury, it is then up to you to decide who is telling the truth. Not easy, that wasn't, was it? Okay, it was a long dictation, and at 90, that was pretty tough. Well done if you carried on going. The main thing is to write at the very end. Do drop some words, just try and jump straight back in. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is go over all the outlines there. We'll work through together. So we had ladies and gentlemen of the jury. That was a good head start there. I am. Rosie would be R-S-I. That's my nickname. People call me Rosie. Well, then my full name's Rosalie. So Rosie. Woodward. So we've got wood, which is W-D, and then we would use little wood for ward. Rosie Woodward. Counsel, CM blend. For this should be grouped. We've got prosecution, and we've got in this case. I'm going to tell you about an incident. So we've got I am going to tell you about an incident is ICD, special outline, which has had a huge impact. So we've got which. We could even join has and then had, or a combination of those 2 words. So we could join which and has, or has and had, or if you can do that neatly, a huge impact. I see errors often made with huge and large. Huge is HG and large is LR blend and a G. So just take care with that. So huge. Impact would be IMPCT. On the live, so on the should be joined, lives LVS. We've got of, several for sev, and then people. The woman before you. Now you can reduce woman to a little W like we do for wood to make it quicker, otherwise it'd be WMN. Whichever way you're writing before, we've got BFR and you. I'm aware that you may have got this version as well. It's very, very fancy before. Okay, so before you. Jill James, that's going to be J upwards L. James is JMS. Has been working as a, so has been should be joined. Working is a WR blend K-ing. As a should be grouped, which we looked at before. Taxi is T, X and I. Driver DRVR. For a should be joined, which we looked at, alpha local. Cab is CB. Company is CO. I am going quite quick, so you can obviously pause this and make notes of the ones that you need to practice. For just less than a year. So for JST, just, we had less than a year. I just put a Y for year, but you can put R in if you wish. This awful event occurred on Monday morning, so we've got this, TH slope, the H move I indicator. Awful is up with A, W, F, L. Occurred is OCRD. We've got on, ON. Monday is just mon. Morning, MR-ing. Do always practice days of the week. Remember, don't put the day on. So mon, choose, wed, and so on. Do practice those. Monday morning, just after 9 AM. So we've got JST, full A for after, circling 9, we've got AM. When Mrs. James was on the way, so we've got for when. Mrs. should be a long M for MR and S. If that's too short, it'll look like miss, so just make sure you've got it long. We've got James already, we've had that one, J and S. Mrs. James. One second. was on the way to a second job of the day. So I've got was, on the should be joined, way is WA, to the should be joined. Second is S, C, and blend in D. Job is JB. Of the should be grouped, and then D for day. Okay. Looking at the second, do practice that. It's quite awkward. Just get used to getting that momentum going backwards. If it was like secondly, we'd have SCNDI. Secondary would be SCNDRI. So just make sure you practice second, secondly, secondary. And those are really helpful outlines. Clear the screen. Okay, so then we have the second job of the day. Her mobile phone was in the glove box. So we've got her, MS was, in the should be grouped, glove is G, upwards L and B, box is B, and just cross through with the X. Then we have, and she was wearing a smartwatch. So we've got and, try and group she was. Wearing is WR and ing, we've got A. Smartwatch, I'll do a little shortcut that I mentioned before, smartwatch. Which notifies, so which is WC on the T line. Notifies, that would be NT, FIS. Keep the I in there for clarity. You could knock the I off, but it's a little bit awkward there putting the F and S together. So notifies. Her of calls, so we've got her of calls, CLS. Then we've got text messages, so T cross X through, MSGS, messages, and other updates. So N for and, other is OTHR, updates is for you, P, D, T, S, and that will be the end of the sentence there. Then we have her phone rang, so her phone will be downwards S and N, rang is R and A for ang, no N, G's, so it's hard to get used to that. Her phone rang, which as a result, so you've got which as a result. You can knock off a T and write as a result if you want to. Prompted the smartwatch to ring and flash. So prompted, we have your PR theory, so we've got the P, we put the M, P, T through and add the D, prompted. The smartwatch. To ring, and that's R and ings. Just notice that ring and rang look different because you've got your ing and your ang there. To ring. N for and flash is F, L, blend, longhand S. End of sentence. Okay. A few seconds later, so we've got A. Few is F inside the W. You can go down if you prefer it this way. Seconds is S, C, N, blend, D, S. Later is L, long T for TR. A few seconds later. A group of 5 teenagers, so we've got A, group is G, put a P through. We've got of, try and circle 5, T, N, G, R, S for teenagers. Ran across the road, so we've got ran, RN. Try and join across there, A, C, R, S, H there, and we've got a road. A leg across it, it's quite nice, it flows well. Just as the light turned to amber, so we've got JST. Try and join as there. Alt to S for lights, turned as TR and D to amber's a nice outline, AMBR, amber. Would you believe I still run across words I haven't come across in shorthand before? I've been doing this for a very long time. Amber's one of them I've actually written before. So we've got amber. It goes without saying that she should have remained stationary. So we've got it goes without S-A-ing, that she should have remained. We add the E indicator between the R and the M to get a clearer join. Remained. Stationary, so that would be station RI, stationary. You could reduce station just to shun, you could just do shunnery. So shun RI, stationary. Knock off the ST. Remember, shun is a shortcut for station. For example, this would say police station, rail station. So you could use that shortcut for remained stationary. Okay, quite complex stuff that. So remain stationary. until the lights turn green. Disjoint G words begin with un, then TL, H of the until the, LTS for lights, turned as TR blend ND, and green as G, pop the N through, and that's the end of that sentence there. Then we have, as a result of such carelessness. You've already had as a result. Add the of such. When we have lessness, it's displayed by using the disjoined ls. So if this said careless, joined on, this would say carelessness. Okay, disjoined L and S. So as a result of such carelessness, that might be something to revise possibly. A girl was hit by the car. So a girl, GRL, was hit as HT. By the should be grouped and then car. And sustained. So sustained will be S-U-S-T-N-D. So I've got S-U-S-T-N-D, sustained. Serious is S-R-S. Injury should be I-N-G-R-I-S. End of sentence. Then we have the car also clipped the leg of another girl. So I've got the car. Also, clipped would be C-L-P-D. We've got the leg is a sharp L and G, or bracket L, or downwards L, whichever you refer it as to. That's sharp, sharp L. Often hear it called a downwards L, a bracket L, a sharp L. Just makes a clearer join. The leg of another should be A-N along to the T-H-R, then girl is G-R-L, that's the end of sentence there. Police officers, if you've been following our YouTube channel, you will be used to this outline, the shortcut. It's P for police and then just CRS. I love that one, it's really handy. So police officers will give evidence. So we've got will, give is GV, evidence. To show that the lights were indeed, so we've got T for two, show long and S and W, that they should be grouped, lights, LTS, were is long W. Indeed is INDD. Still on amber. On is O and blind, we've had amber in the previous text, so we've got still on amber. When she hit the gas pedal. So when she hit the gas is GS, pedal is PDL. That's the end of that sentence. I'm going to just clear the board now, just so I've got a bit more space. And it starts with the accused will tell you that. The accused will tell you that. Who do we believe? So we've got the accused will. You can join tell you that, as mentioned in the outline to drill before. She did not check her watch. So we've got she, conjoined did not check her watch. Watch is WCH-T. But evidence shows, so but to be for evidence, long and SWS for shows. That's a call, so that a should be grouped. Call is CL, got was WS. Answered is AN, SRD. Via would be V and A. The smartwatch. Had to really drill smartwatch, it came up loads, didn't it? At the time in question, so I've got at there, you could keep the M down with the time, in as IN, Q for question, end of sentence. Then we had a witness will also tell you, so A, witness will also TLU for tell you. Sorry, it was tell you that. She, could join that, tell you that she had. So is that she has. So a witness will tell you, so a witness will also tell you that she has. There we go. One second, guys, bear with. A witness will tell you, sorry, will tell, witness will also tell you how. Sorry, guys, I was in the next sentence. Okay, back to Taylor. A witness will also tell you how she saw Mrs. James. How is HW? She, longhand S, saw. Mrs. should be MR and S. We've got James again. A witness will also tell you how she saw Mrs. James tapping her wrist. So TPing her. Wrist is RST, S outside your angle, remember W is silent. And rummaging on the passenger seat, so we've got and. Rummaging would be R, include the U to get clearer join, M, G, ing, rummaging. On the should be grouped. Passenger is PS, we've got the disjoint E indicator for eng and then R, so no ng. Remember your ing, ang, ong, eng. Ong theory to practice that. So past enger, past enger. Seat as if to look for something, so we've got a seat. As is AS, if there's IF, T for 2. Look is alk, 4FR, then sun, ing for something. Then we have Mrs. James will claim. So we've got, again, Mrs. James will claim would be C, L, and M. That's sharp bracket L there. That she never uses, so we've got that, she. NVR for never. Next we have uses. We'd have the U, disjoined SF, SLS. Her phone or smartwatch while driving. So her phone, the O for line is or, smartwatch. While is WH upwards L. We've got DR blend being for driving. And that her vision became distorted. So we've got and, that her vision will be V and shin. I'm going to just clear the screen there. Became a CM undue writing line. Next we have distorted, which would be DS, TR, TD. She will tell you that she has not had vision issues before. So we've got she will tell you that she has not had vision, IS, US for issues. You can put longhand S if you prefer, you can do this. Issues for you there. Just go over that again, sorry, it's a bit clearer. So I, longhand S, US, issues. Before. But that she had been, so I've got conjoined but that. Could have the she on there as well. Had been should be grouped. Suffering with headaches for weeks. So we've got S, SR-ing with headaches would be HD. And then from there, we would have the CS headaches. 4 weeks. You could shorten weeks to just put WS like we do for last week. You could put just a WS there and knock off the K and attach to the previous outline. So 4 weeks for WS. Okay. So I'll just pop it separate here, but just bear in mind you can join that together and omit the K. So headaches 4 weeks, end of that sentence. I can confirm, so ICN confirms the CM blend S and M, bit fiddly that one. Mrs. James has no history of eye problems. So I've got Mrs. again, James. Slope the has in the way of an indicator. No is NO. History is H, S, TR, and I. We've got of. I is a full I, whether it's my I or I'm talking to you. Problems, you should know that one special outline comes up with loads. and had not consulted her doctor. So I've got and, had not consulted then. That would be CNSLTD. So I've got consulted her. The doctor is DCTR. This offence is just a C, as a short form, has left 2 young girls injured. So we slope the H in the way that A for has, left is L, downwards F and T. 2, I tend to just put a T, you can put a number 2 circle. Young is Y, disjoint G for ung. Girls, GRLS. Injured is IN, change the J to a G for clarity, RD. Then we have very soon, you will hear from a number of witnesses. So V for very, soon is SN. We can join you will. Here is HR, from is upwards F, A. Number of should be grouped. Witnesses we had in the questions before. And from the defendant herself, so and from there, I've mentioned my structure for defendant. Words end in self, we reduce to SL, so herself. For example, this would say myself, this would say yourself. So self equals self. Okay, 1 second, guys, my screen is just timed out. Okay, then we have last sentence was, it is then up to you to decide who is telling the truth. So we have, it is then, for U and P, up to you to decide who is, can be grouped, telling the truth. End of sentence. Okay, that was a long passage. So well done for kind of working and staying motivated, writing that down. And also we'll go into the outlines with me after. Make sure you make a drill list, anything to practice. You can obviously come back to this session when you want to, and you can access the audio file via SoundCloud too. I will be posting another one of these videos in a couple of weeks' time, so keep an eye out for that. Any comments or feedback, we're always grateful to have any. So just get in touch. You can always email us, or you can drop us a message via the website, or pop a comment onto the channel. And don't forget to hit subscribe. That way you will be notified when a new video comes out. Okay, thank you and have a wonderful day or wonderful night wherever you are in the world. Thank you very much. Take care. Goodbye.